Hi, and welcome to Two Crasians, the Asian American podcast where the Joy Luck Club meets drunk history. I'm your host, Nancy Lee.
And I'm your other host, Cindy Yep.
Right now, we're going to do our ham.
Hams are hella Asian moments. It's like anything that happens in your life where you're like, dude, that was hella Asian. It happens to us pretty much a weekly basis. What do you think?
I would say it's my life.
It's not so, yeah. You kind of can't forget. It's hard to forget that you're Asian. Nancy, did you have a ham this week?
Well, as we discussed, we have many hams, but this one I'm going to share it with you is about the soup kitchen I volunteer at. I go there every Saturday.
A food-based ham.
Oh, it's not even about food, but it's really good food. It's a soup kitchen that serves meatloaf all the time. But there's like clearly a lot of volunteers, and a lot of volunteers are actually Asian, right? And there's these guests that think we're all related. Like they're literally like, oh, your brother at the door. And I'm like, that's not my brother. And then they'll be like, oh,
your brother?
Yeah. Or they're like, and they'll go to him like, oh, your sister. And I'm just like, really? And I'm like, we don't look alike at all. Like,
why would you think that we're one family?
I have no idea. But I'm just like, oh, like, I didn't want to engage, right? Like, I'm just not going to have this conversation. Right. I'm just like, he's not my brother. And I just move on. But it's just like, really? Because we're Asian? We're in 2018. I'm just like,
and also the idea that your family is like 18 people in it and like they're all working the soup kitchen. FYI, unless it was going to look good on a college application, our parents would never want us to volunteer at a soup kitchen. That's like a waste of good studying time.
Yeah.
Like charity.
I like volunteering, so I always like did it myself. It wasn't like my parents ever drove me to do it or pushed me to do it, but
right. I mean, I'm sure they like don't mind, but they wouldn't put all of their kids up for it.
Oh, yeah.
That's what would have to happen in order for you all these brothers and sisters.
Volunteer work is called helping the family business.
Yeah. You put in a lot of volunteer hours growing up.
Yeah, I definitely say that. That's how I'm a really good hostess at the soup kitchen. I've had like 20 years of experience of being a hostess.
It's perfect. And back then when you were like, where's your sister? Like, that really was your sister. You're like, I'm offended. Oh, yeah, no, that is my sister.
You're like, wait a second. That person does relate. And that is my mom.
I mean, I guess it's a step up from saying like, you're the same person.
This is true.
Like, at least they're an individual person. Anyway.
Well, what about your ham moment for the week?
I have like a really related ham. It was at the dentist's office. And like, I came in, said hi to the receptionist. I sat down. I waited for like a really long time. I'm like, what's the hell's going on? Finally, I get a phone call. It's the receptionist who's sitting right in front of me. She's calling me from like,
you're like, I'm
5 feet away. Yeah. She's like, hi, is Cindy Yep? Is Cindy Yep there? I'm like, yeah, I'm here. I'm here in front of your face. And she's like, I thought you were with that other girl. There was another Asian in the dentist's office at the same time. And she thought we were friends or something.
So you just like came to bring your friend to the dentist?
Friends or maybe sisters, now I think about it. And we just hang out. Like, who does that?
Oh,
like, who hangs out with their friend at the dentist's office?
Have you ever gone to the dentist with your friend? No.
That's
not a thing that I'm like, what are you doing on Tuesday at 10? Do you want to come to my dentist with me, Cindy? No.
I don't know. She's like, I'm waiting for this person. There's a person in my lobby, but that can't be the person because she's Asian. She must have come with the other Asians because they don't travel alone.
Oh, man. What did she say? Like, what was her response?
Nothing. She was just like, oh, my God. I thought you were
like, not like, I'm sorry. Oh, gosh.
No. Nope.
Yeah, like, my racism is okay. Well, coming from the, that dentist office story, let's talk about what we talked about last episode. A little bit about love and romance, or lack thereof.
So this is actually part 2 of our multi-part series on Crasian love. Last time we learned that we haven't learned anything of value from our parents about sex and dating and marriage. We learned a lot of things of not very good value from HBO, and no wonder we're kind of screwed up, and there's a lot of screwed up relationships in the world.
Nowadays, can you imagine what kids are seeing on TV if what we saw on HBO is what we learned?
You know, that's amazing. Like that's shocking. Like kids have access to porn like 24/7.
Yeah.
We're lucky that we just saw like softcore Skinemax.
Yeah. And you had a VHS
like we didn't
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like really that's tame. That's fine, Like nowadays that's like nothing.
Do you think Asian parents buy like spyware and stuff like that because of the would they put the money in to avoid it, or do they're like, and then their kids are like watching it all the time?
I wonder. I would love to hear from some kids.
Yeah,
but
12-year-old Asians, Crasian.
Yeah, I would love to see like a survey of what do you know? Just I give them like a blank notebook and we're like, tell us everything you know.
Can I just tell you, I have a niece who's 7, and I was talking about dating, and he goes, "Oh, did you break up with your boyfriend? Did he cheat on you?"
What?
They're like learning about like relationships and cheating, and she's 7. So what are we going to be talking in this section of True Crasian Love?
Today we're going to fast forward a little bit to high school, the high school era. We grew up in the 80s pretty much. We are 80s kids. And movies and TV in the 80s, they give me at least a certain idea about like what dating in high school is going to be like. Like I was talking about,
John Hughes did that for us, right?
Yeah,
John Hughes.
Exact. Oh my God, yeah. It was the Bible, like Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink. Like these kids were super cool. They looked really old.
Yeah,
and like they had bodies, and like we didn't have bodies, and like they had cars, and we couldn't relate. But I did relate to Pretty in Pink because of the scene where she's like, I don't want you to see where I live, okay? Like that's also me.
Aww.
Same. Like I didn't want people to see where I live.
That's how I felt about the inside of my house sometimes. Because, my white friends all had like really nice pastel art on the wall and like couches that were like teal blue. Looked like you were in Miami or something.
Yeah, it could have been like in a movie. Like we didn't have houses that could be in movies.
Oh, no. It could be, but maybe like Stranger Things.
Maybe like the Hoarders show.
Oh, well, if you're talking about 16 Candles, Long Duk Dong is the quintessential representation for us of the 80s.
Oh, sexy girlfriend.
And then like every time he came in, there was even a gong.
So true. I mean, Long Duk Dong didn't make things easy for Asian kids.
No.
It was hard times. I can only imagine like for Asian guys, how hard that must have been.
Oh gosh. I know, exactly. It's like exactly the stereotype that you don't want to feed into everyone's mindset is what it was as he was depicted.
Yeah. But also there wasn't really very many Asian women. Like, can you remember any? Like, I feel like nowadays there's like a culture of sometimes there's hot Asian chicks in movies, and we didn't really have that when we were kids. So like for better, for worse, we didn't get like influenced by that, like kind of that kind of image, that ideal.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm trying to think like the first time I saw an Asian woman in media growing up. I don't even remember. I mean, Margaret Cho is the first one that I can think of, and she's like a comedian.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But that was it, really. Yeah, it's just like very different than versus now. It's like these hot Asian chicks, right? When we were younger, there was no representation, except maybe like some sort of like martial arts thing, right? Like Karate Kid, stuff like that in the 80s.
We talked last time about how sex wasn't really talked about, and like dating wasn't really condoned, much less encouraged. Do you think there was actually danger of us getting like knocked up or something, or were we just like too nerdy? When I think about myself in like say like middle school, Like I had like grandma glasses and I had a bionator. You know bionators?
What's a
It's
bionator?
it's like a retainer that you wear after braces, but it's like on top and bottom, so you have to take it out when you eat, and it like
Oh, is it
it
like
ties your whole mouth
I
together.
remember the girl on Pretty in Pink that she has the thing in her mouth during the dance?
Yeah, she had headgear. It's not as bad as headgear, although I
Oh,
had
that's
cousins that had that.
okay. Okay.
Yeah. I had a
Sorry, that
really
just brought
flat
me back to
face.
that movie.
For sure. That's the signal of like the unattractive person,
Yeah.
right? Is like mouth metal. So I had like a fat face. Maybe I'll share a picture of this. I had a thing for like fluffy pink dresses, and I had like a crippling shyness. And like everything, you see on TV and stuff is all about like curves and stuff like that. It was like in the 80s it was, and we were like Asian people, a lot of them have no bodies to this day. So like when we were, we're like in middle school, we're like, there's nothing there. But like when I look at pictures of myself, I'm like, my parents are probably psyched. They're like, this chick is hideous. So Nancy, what about you? Like, I mean, you're a less socially disappointing person than myself.
Way to throw it out there like that. Yeah. I was actually quite a tomboy. Like I wasn't a girly girl. I became girly girl later in life, but I was a tomboy. All my friends were boys. I played football. They called me the fridge because I played football with a bunch of skinny ass boys. And one would grab one ankle, the other one would grab the other ankle, and then I would like walk my way to the goalposts, which are the two trees on the lawn. And they were just like, how the hell? What the fuck? Like, you're like walking with us. So that's how big I was. I could carry them on my legs. And they were like, oh my God, you're like the fridge. And I was like, oh, I like cried in the bathroom. I was like, they called me the fridge. And I was like, and I liked one of them. I had like a crush on one of them. I'm like, oh, I was so
But they like
such a
they didn't see you as like a female.
they called me the fridge. Like
They called you fridge.
Like,
That
that's
wasn't. They
it.
weren't
There's
like
no
They're like, I want to date the fridge. I want to get to know the
the
fridge.
fridge. Yeah, that's like not a nickname you want your girlfriend to have, right? But then
No.
when I was like 13, because I live in a very Jewish community, I went to a lot of bar and bat mitzvahs. And a popular gift they give is like these keychains that you take pictures with your friends. And I would see like how chubby I was. Cause like it wasn't like we didn't have smartphones, right? So we weren't taking pictures all the time. When we would do these things for the bar mitzvah, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like really chubby. And
No.
people would say things to me like my ballet teacher, Miss Olga, she was like, Asian people are very skinny. What happened? And I was just like, oh, well, I'm that Asian that grows up in America. So I'm like of normal body weight, if not maybe a little, softer. So yeah. So she was just like, I think you're too heavy for toe shoes. And that's like the epitome of what you want to do as a little girl. You want to be a ballet person, right?
God. Yeah.
And she's just like took away my toe shoes. So I'm like, no, I want
Oh my
toe
God.
shoes. So I like forced myself to do it, but she was right. I also had flat feet, to be fair. I had no arch. No arch, and being a little bit heavier than one would be on toe shoes. Those toes hurt. The wool they give you, gel pads, does jack shit. It hurts. You're like dancing on your damn toes. Did you ever do toe shoes?
No, I never did.
You are lucky.
I'm glad that I didn't have to be told that I'm too fat for toe shoes, because I probably would have been.
Yeah. It's not something you want to hear as like a 14-year-old girl.
That's awful.
Yeah. What about dating in high school? Like what happened there? Anything in high school or college?
So yeah, like a little bit here and there, and like I was a pretty late bloomer. And I did have one serious relationship in high school. Like I think last episode we talked about my mom's sex talk, which is basically don't do drugs, don't do sex. Well, my boyfriend in high school was a 22-year-old drug dealer. So like it's a major backfire. Things are backfire on mom.
Yeah. Good job, moms.
Yeah. He was a real loser, but I didn't know better, I guess.
So my dating in high school was very nominal. There was like the Korean, that was a no-go, right? And then I
Yeah.
did date like a best friend of mine for a little bit. And my parents didn't really care. It was like nothing. But I just remember what people told me. They're like, oh, you know why he's dating you is because he really likes the ethnic girls.
Ethnic girl.
And that was the first time, to be honest. I think I was like 10th grade. I was like, wait a second. I'm like an ethnic girl. Like that's how people look at me. They don't look at me just because of me.
Oh my God. It's like how your mom said, like, that you think you're American, but everyone
Yeah.
sees you as Chinese.
Yeah.
Like, people are laying down truth on you.
I know. She's kind of like that the horse whisperer or whatever. She kind of does something that all of a sudden I'm like, "Mom, you're so right." I have to
Oh
give
my
it to her.
God. Yeah. She's a fortune cookie, that one.
Fortune cookie.
Oh, what about college?
College, I went to NYU and I continued to date some Jewish guys. And, I think in college, that's when I realized more overtly about this whole like preference of Asian women. Like I saw it in action. And
Mm.
that's because there'd be all these guys that I started to like either become friendly with or kind of date or whatever. And I meet these other girls that I became friends with who happen to be Asian, but very similar to me. And they all have dated. Like there was this one guy that had no vocal cords. We'll call him G. And then there was this other guy that was from LA. He dated like all these Asian girls, like, and then even Asian best friend, girlfriend. It was just like weird. And I like realized like this is what yellow fever is. Like someone told me like, oh, they have yellow fever. And I never knew the slang because like people would have to say it to me. And at my school, there wasn't a lot of us, so they didn't even know the slang. So when I got to college, people were like throwing these things at me like Twinkie and yellow fever. And I'm like, what the heck is this?
Oh my God. Like, yeah, I can't think of like when I learned about it, but like you can like pinpoint like when it became apparent to you.
Yeah, college.
Wow.
It's like really funny. You like go out with your girlfriends and you could tell like I like was like the Asian persuasion that some of the bouncers liked. And, it was like a different mix of people. I had a girlfriend, my best friend from college, she's Indian. And we would go out, the two of us, and we'd always get in the front of the line and things like that. Cause like we were seniors in college and we recognized that people really love that Asian kind of uh, uh, ethnic kind of look at the time or whatnot. And when we were in high school, we had both all American friends, white friends, and we were like embarrassed, right? And then we got to college and we're like, oh wait, people love this like exotic look or whatnot. And
Yeah, you're like, I'm hot.
yeah, like it was, to be honest, that's how I felt like in high school. I'm like, like, kind of like
Yeah.
coasting because you're with your friends, so you're comfortable, but it's not like you're meeting new people all the time. And then all of a sudden you get to college, and I went to NYU, so I'm in the city, and I'm meeting people left and right, and like you're getting this kind of like attention, and you're like, oh wait, is he flirting with me? Wait, he thought I was cute, and you're like, oh, if
So you learned like that there's like interest outside of like your hometown. There's like interest in like so-called ethnic people, but there's also like a dark side.
yes, yes. And then it was just like you would always meet, and like all these guys I would be like dating or be interested in, they all loved all these Asian girls. And then finally I'd meet like one guy who like I was the first Asian person or Asian girl he dated. I felt like I won the lottery. Cause like every time,
He was a virgin.
yeah, of the
I
Asian
love a
persuasion.
virgin. Yeah.
But it was like a lottery because otherwise you go round robin and you're like, oh, this guy dated Amanda. This one dated Jackie. This one, like, oh, they dated Jackie and Amanda. Like, it was just like, oh my gosh. Am I just feeling this like Barbie doll? Not Barbie
Yeah.
because that's blonde, but you know what I'm saying. The Asian
Yeah.
Chinese version is crazy.
Yeah, you wanna find that virgin.
And then when you really recognize the yellow fever, like when a guy dates a lot of Asian girls, you're like, hey, yellow fever, you throw it out there. No, when you really learn, is when you go to some guy's apartment, and sometimes guys have like, this is when I was younger, like pinups or some like sexy pictures of women. When they're all Asian women, then you're like, where the fuck's the door?
And they're
Like-
not Asian.
Like, no.
That's
no.
creepy as fuck. Like, you might as well have a well in your basement with a bucket that you need to put the lotion in. Because that's creepy as fuck.
Yeah. I was just like, I need to go to the bathroom. And I'm just like, I got the fuck out of there.
Yeah. You're like, do you want to date me or like wear my skin? I don't understand.
Yeah. And you're just like, oh my God, my mom told me about this. My mom told me about this. I gotta get out of here.
Oh, mom was right. Oh my God. Well, if you, like us, love to think about this topic of yellow fever, we are going to go deep, deep into it. Our next episode is going to be all about yellow fever. So all of the things that you always wanted to know, but could still live without knowing, we'll be covering.
But if you have anything to share, please like reach out to us on Twitter and Facebook and post your
And
question.
Instagram.
Oh yeah, Instagram.
Yeah.
Just post a question or share.
And let us know, did you date people with yellow fever in college? And how did you hear about it? Did you hear about it before college?
I love how we're assuming all the Asian women went to college.
I mean,
Because they did.
my mom didn't push me a lot to excel in school. She like was really good that way. But like one time when I was like, I'm going to move to Europe with my 22-year-old drug dealer boyfriend, she was like, no. That was like the only thing where she was just like putting her fucking foot down.
I mean,
She's
that's appropriate. Like listening to this.
She was like, I put up with a lot of shit from you. But she put that size 5 foot down. She was like, that's it. She's like, you're going to fucking college. And she did me a fucking favor. Imagine if I had gone to Europe with a fucking 6'5" drug dealer.
You'd be like broke down palace.
I'd be broke down palace. I'd be a mule of so many different origins. So thanks, Mom. I do appreciate it.
So on that note.
So that's our experience. But, we are Crasian, so we know that our experience doesn't always match that of everyone else.
So share.
But anyway, yeah, share. But we did all go to college, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, love.